Have you ever heard of a border dispute that escalated over an ancient temple? A UNESCO World Heritage Site? No less. It sounds like something from a movie. But this was a very real conflict between Cambodia and Thailand, centered around the stunning Preah Vihear Temple. This story isn't just about a disagreement. It's a deep dive into history, national pride, and a complex relationship between two neighboring countries. So, let's unravel the events that led to the Cambodian-Thai border conflict. To truly understand this conflict, we need to journey back in time, way back to the 11th and 12th centuries. This was the golden age of the Khmer Empire, a powerhouse in Southeast Asia. During this period, they built some of the most magnificent architectural wonders the world has ever seen, including Angkor Wat and, you guessed it, the Preah Vihear Temple, perched dramatically on a 525-meter cliff in the Dangrak Mountains. This temple was dedicated to the Hindu deity Shiva. Its location offers breathtaking views over the Cambodian plains. The key point here is its geographical and cultural originates, undeniably a masterpiece of Khmer architecture. For centuries, it was an integral part of the Khmer spiritual and cultural landscape. This historical context is the bedrock of Cambodia's claim to the temple. Now, let's fast forward to the late 19th and early 20th centuries. This era was marked by French colonialism in Southeast Asia. Cambodia became a French protectorate, and France played a significant role in defining its borders. In 1904 and 1907, a joint commission between France, representing Cambodia, and Siam, which is modern-day Thailand, was set up to demarcate the border. They created a map that showed Preah Vihear as being on the Cambodian side. For nearly 50 years, Thailand did not formally object to this map. They even benefited from it in other border negotiations. This period of quiet acceptance is crucial, as it would later become a central argument in a major international court case. The lines drawn on a map over a century ago set the stage for a future dispute. After Cambodia gained its independence from France in 1953, things started to heat up. In 1954, Thai forces actually occupied the temple. This was a clear assertion of their claim, and Cambodia, as a newly independent nation, wasn't going to let it slide. They protested diplomatically, but when that failed, they decided to take the issue to the highest legal authority in the world, the International Court of Justice, or ICJ, in The Hague. Cambodia filed its case in 1959, arguing that the temple and its surrounding land belonged to them. Based on the historical treaties and the map created by the Franco-Siamese Commission, Thailand's counter-argument was that the map was flawed and that the natural watershed line of the mountains placed the temple in their territory. The world watched as this legal battle unfolded. In 1962, the ICJ delivered its landmark verdict. By a vote of 9-3, the court ruled in favor of Cambodia. The judgment stated that the Preah Vihear Temple was situated in territory under the sovereignty of Cambodia. The court's reasoning was fascinating. It didn't just look at geography. It heavily weighed Thailand's behavior over the previous 50 years. The fact that Thailand had not objected to the 1907 map for so long was interpreted as tacit acceptance. The court ordered Thailand to withdraw its troops and to return any artifacts removed from the temple. For Cambodia, it was a massive victory, a validation of their national identity and historical rights. For many in Thailand, however, the ruling was a bitter pill to swallow, and it left a lasting sense of injustice that would simmer for decades. For many years after the 1962 ruling, a fragile peace held. Cambodia was soon engulfed in its own tragic civil war and the Khmer Rouge regime, so the temple dispute faded into the background. However, the underlying tensions never truly disappeared. The issue roared back to life in the 21st century. In 2007, Cambodia applied to have Preah Vihear listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. This move was seen by Cambodia as a way to preserve the temple and gain international recognition for its cultural treasure. Initially, Thailand supported the bid, but domestic political pressure mounted. Nationalist groups in Thailand argued that the UNESCO listing, particularly if it included the disputed land around the temple, would undermine Thailand's claim to the area. This nationalist sentiment grew, and the Thai government eventually withdrew its formal support for Cambodia's solo bid. Despite this, in July 2008, UNESCO went ahead and listed the Temple of Preah Vihear as a World Heritage Site belonging to Cambodia. The decision was celebrated in Phnom Penh, but sparked outrage in Bangkok. Protests erupted, and the political rhetoric on both sides became increasingly heated. It was the catalyst that pushed a long dormant legal and diplomatic dispute into a live military confrontation. Shortly after the UNESCO listing, troops from both Cambodia and Thailand were deployed to the disputed border area near the temple, and the situation became incredibly tense. What followed was a series of unfortunate clashes. From 2008 to 2011, the border area around Preah Vihear became a flashpoint. Soldiers from both nations, stationed just meters apart, engaged in several exchanges of fire. These weren't minor skirmishes. They involved small arms, mortars, and rocket fire. The most intense fighting occurred in February and April of 2011. Both sides suffered casualties, and tragically, civilians in the nearby villages were caught in the crossfire, forced to flee their homes. The temple itself, a priceless piece of world heritage, sustained damage from the shelling. It was a heartbreaking situation, watching two neighbors fight over a site that should have been a symbol of shared history and culture. International bodies, including the United Nations and ASEAN, called for a ceasefire and a peaceful resolution. Faced with escalating violence, Cambodia decided to return to the International Court of Justice in 2011. This time, they weren't asking the court to rule on the temple itself. That was already decided in 1962. Instead, Cambodia asked the court to interpret the 1962 judgment. The key question was, did the original ruling apply only to the temple proper, or did it also include the promontory, the hill it sits on, and the surrounding land? This was the heart of the modern dispute. Cambodia argued the entire area was theirs, while Thailand contended that the 1962 ruling only gave Cambodia the temple structure, and the border of the surrounding land was still up for negotiation. The court was once again tasked with drawing a line between these two nations. In November 2013, the ICJ delivered its final interpretation. The court unanimously ruled that the 1962 judgment meant Cambodia had sovereignty over the entire promontory of Preah Vihear. The court didn't draw a precise new borderline on a map, but it clarified that the limits of the promontory were to be determined by the relevant geographical features. It ordered Thailand to withdraw its military, police, and other personnel from that territory. The ruling was a clear victory for Cambodia's position. Importantly, the court also stressed the need for cooperation. It called on both countries to work together for the protection and conservation of the temple as a World Heritage Site. Since the 2013 ruling, the situation has thankfully calmed down significantly. Both countries have publicly committed to implementing the court's decision and to maintaining peace. The troops have been withdrawn from the immediate vicinity of the temple, and a demilitarized zone has been established. The focus has shifted from conflict to cooperation. Today, you can visit the Preah Vihear temple. Although it's most easily accessed from the Cambodian side, it stands as a powerful symbol, a testament to a rich history, a reminder of a painful conflict, but also a beacon of hope for a more peaceful and cooperative future between Cambodia and Thailand. The story of Preah Vihear is a compelling lesson in how history, culture, and national pride can intersect. Sometimes with fiery consequences, but ultimately demonstrating that dialogue and international law can pave a path towards resolution. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into the history of the Preah Vihear dispute. It's a complex story, but one that's essential for understanding the region. If you found this interesting, please hit that like button and subscribe for more stories from around the world. See you next time!